adding in 5 puppies,
Yeah.
we are running ourselves ragged.
Right.
We need to get them into homes,
Yeah.
and then we could take another shot
Right.
at Rain's family. Rain's phenomenal. We're to the
Yeah.
point now where really the next steps are us getting her out into society.
Hey,
Welcome
guys.
back.
It's been a while. It's been absolutely crazy here.
Yeah.
There is barely any quiet time, so we basically killed ourselves today rotating so that we can get like a 2-hour window to make some content
Knock
for
out
you
a
guys.
podcast. And
Because we
catch
do
you up.
enjoy doing these. We have fun.
These are
and
actually
it's
really fun.
It's time for Duke and I to have conversation as well. So it's been it's just been really hectic here with the crew that we have. We still have puppies in our care that haven't been adopted, and we can kind of go down that rabbit hole.
Well, I was going to
you know,
say, because we want to catch you up on Rain.
yes.
So this first one is catching you up on Rain's revenge tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were doing really good with the YouTube. And then I think we filmed it on YouTube. There were 5 pity puppies
Yep.
that were dumped basically down the street. We were at capacity, and we were also working on making another trip out to go take another shot at Rain's family.
Yeah.
Our neighbors didn't want to take them to the shelter. They were on board to foster. We made it clear, like, guys, like, we don't have room. You know, we had 36 dogs at the time or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
we're
Well,
capped.
we had just picked up Tahoe, and he was in our quarantine area, and he had a really bad upper respiratory infection. So
that too.
we just physically did not have room in the house to bring on any more dogs.
Yeah. So they were like, no, we're on board to long-term foster. We got you guys. So we got them vetted.
Yeah.
And we got a microchip to us, essentially making them a part of our rescue. And a week later, they said that they were overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the bandwidth to do it anymore.
Yeah. And granted, the puppies were with them, I think, for a month. I think that was the time frame from like
It wasn't a
found.
month?
Yeah, no, it was.
Okay.
Because I was looking at dates. It was from the moment that they were found. We didn't really get involved like the first 2 weeks.
Oh, well, because that's when they said they were convinced they wanted a long-term
Right.
foster. Yes.
Right. So I
So,
think they were.
I guess
the
it might have
puppies
been a
were in
week
their
after
care.
that.
Yeah, the puppies were in their care for about a month, but it was a week after we got them fully vetted and made their
Yeah.
appointments to get them spayed and neutered and microchipped. And they were like, "Yeah, we can't do this anymore. We're going to take them to the shelter now."
And once Steph and I are involved, you
Yeah.
guys know, we're going to take the dogs. So we
Yeah.
found a way to take the dogs. But adding in 5 puppies that have to all be separated
Yeah.
in individual crates. And then, not that we exclusively rescue seniors, but it's predominantly seniors taking on 5 puppies that need training and exposure work.
yeah.
We are running ourselves ragged.
Right. And it's not fair to the puppies too. This is one of the reasons we don't take on puppies is because our place is great and it's quiet for dogs
Yeah.
that need to decompress, but not great for puppies that need exposure to cars and bicycles and skateboards and,
Yeah.
you know, daily things that
So,
regular dogs get exposed
kind
to.
of segueing into Rain.
Right.
That right now is the holdup for those wondering.
Right.
We have to get these puppies in homes. We've had almost no traction, which has been brutal. Then more recently, Steph rescued 2 Pyrenees that were dumped in our area.
I like it.
So
And you rescued 2 female Rotties.
those were planned though, and they're going to be in the main area, so it's fine. Our 2 basic rooms. So the puppies take up an entire room. The Pure
Right.
Boys take up an entire room.
The
So
Rotties
we-
are in the
Yeah, but they'll
quarantine
move
space.
into main area. So basically, we need to get them into homes.
Yeah.
And then we can try and coordinate with Becca and Dee over at Yaki's Rescue to take another shot
Right.
at Rain's family. But the good news with Rain, we really wanted to document the whole thing close for you guys, and we were doing so good, and then it fell off, but she's doing amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we slowed down around December.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Dustin.
Yeah.
That's when
It was
things
right
started to fall
before-
apart.
It's right before the trip.
Yeah, so that would have been good to document too. But we were going back and forth because I hadn't seen my personal dog Day in over a year. And it was a rough year and I really wanted to go see her. So Steph being Steph was awesome and spent 6 months coordinating temp fosters and trainers and vet techs and Amanda to come over.
Yeah.
Leafy took a couple of dogs also so that we could make the trip out for a week. So we were able to see Thea. Rain, we debated whether or not she'd be more comfortable staying at home
Right.
or coming with us. And at this point, Rain had started to bond really hard with Steph and I.
Yeah.
Like we could fully handle her. We were able to get her on leash.
And we even debated having Lola's mom.
Well, that was the
the only other
option.
person outside of this house.
Really? And
where she'd
Amanda's
go to.
great with the dogs. But with where Rain was at, she would need somebody that's extremely experienced as a handler. And
Yeah, as a
Lola's mom is
trainer.
above us as a trainer,
Yeah.
handler. So she was kind of the only other option, but we figured, kind of a crash course on exposure work for Rain. And,
Yeah.
she had started to show some interest in Shadow at that point. And up to that point, she had no interest in dogs. So we're like, okay, like we have Shadow with us. We have Rain. We're going to have Thea for a week.
Yeah.
And Thea's actually a great dog to be around because she is so well behaved. Dogs can kind of just move around her like Shadow, and it's like, meh.
Yeah.
So we loaded Rain up and did that trip, and she actually did way better than I thought.
Yeah.
I think honestly,
it was just the first stop, potty break stop that we took
Yeah, she
in
was
the
nervous.
desert. Because we
well,
didn't
not the
want to do
desert.
it.
I meant the gas station.
Well,
She was nervous there.
right. And that's when we decided,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're not stopping at any more gas stations. We're just going to stop kind of in the middle of nowhere exit.
Yeah, I'm not
and it
sure
worked
where
out
we
great.
were. We were literally in the
I have
middle
no
of
idea.
nowhere. It
I
might
don't
have been
know,
someone's
Arizona,
property.
New Mexico.
I don't know. But no, we got out and Rain ran up to Shadow, like tail wagging, kind of like her body was excited, but her brain was like, no, what are you doing? And it
It's
just
like, we got to stick together. We're out in the middle of nowhere.
it just kept building from there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, once we arrived, Rain and Shadow started to bond really well. She did good with Thea. And I think that trip, as much as we talk about, yes,
Going
sharing
slow.
space with dogs, going slow, but we've learned a little bit with Rain, and it's a unique situation. But, when we had Lola's mom over, she had us get her on leash and kind of push that boundary a little more than Steph and I would have on our own.
Yeah.
And that did a lot of good. And I think getting Rain out of her comfort zone, traveling and being in just this kind of crash course environment, I'm not recommending you do it, but for Rain, it worked.
Yeah.
I think it was just kind of this perfect storm of timing and taking this trip where Rain had bonded with us to the point she was starting to really rely on us, and then throwing her in this environment, it just pushed her closer to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with a lot of dogs, you don't want to build up that insecurity where they use you as a security blanket. But in Rain's case, being extremely feral, it's a little different.
Yeah. And we say this constantly, like, we're not trainers. Every dog is different. Every dog's going to require a different protocol, different training techniques. And so that's why it's so nice when we met Lola's mom, because she kind of pushed us out of our
It's a
comfort
different
zone.
outlook than we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, from there, things took off. We'll insert a ton of B-roll of where Rain's at now, if you guys aren't following her journey on Instagram. But, I mean, Rain's phenomenal. We're to the point now where really the next steps are us getting her out into society.
Yeah.
So, trying to do controlled environments where there's minimal variables, where we can get her out around other people.
Yeah. I mean, she would be a great dog too, just because they have a well-balanced pack, is Dog Fit Dallas. Where
Yeah,
it's
I
like
want to
just
get her
around,
out
but I'm
more
saying, like,
prior, but down the line, yeah.
Right. I think they would be really good just to have her in another space with well-balanced dogs.
And with Rain, because I know it gets asked on Instagram a lot, we're not sure if we're going to adopt her out yet.
Yeah.
My gut instinct is yes, because that's what Steph and I do. We just have a long ways to go before we make that call to see how she does with other people. Because Rain, objectively looking at her, like, being the feral dog she was, I would imagine is going to be a high flight risk.
Yeah.
And even though she's very sweet and will make sure she's well trained, she's going to need a good handler who mentally is really on it.
Right.
Because, I mean, like, if Rain slipped out and got away from somebody, I'd like, she's gone. Unless I put a tracking chip in her somewhere. But, with where she's at, like, we have a long way to go prior to that. And then, rescuing the other dogs out there, they're getting older, so it's going to be tougher the longer it takes. And the mom and dad, that's something where we have to build out a separate enclosure because they're dogs that are probably going to have to live out their days with us if we're able to catch them.
Yeah, mom and dad for sure.
Yeah, just because
they're 3, 4, 5 years old.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people confuse it. We talked about it a little bit, but with Rain in this pack, it's not like stray or feral urban area dogs, because I think people say that a lot. Like, oh yeah, I had my dog was a stray in Los Angeles, like, and it is also tough. We've had a lot of those dogs. It's just, trust me, it's very different with where they were out in Brownsville, like outside of cars flying by and border patrol. There's no human interaction, like right on the border where they were running like 200 feet and hopping over to Mexico and then hopping in the river and back over the US. Like, it's right there. So it's not like stray dogs that have been, having humans hand feed or throw food at them their whole life and they know where to go. Like it's really like wild animals, basically. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But Rain's doing phenomenal. I love that dog to death, even though her husky is showing a little bit.
Oh, she is loud.
As of late.
She's been singing to us.
She's been singing. Yeah, she's getting spoiled now. Like around dinner time, she's the loudest dog in the house. Like she wants her food now.
Everyone going. Yeah. Everyone going. The minute that I walk into the kitchen and grab one stainless steel bowl, she has to get fed first. Yeah. Because if we don't hand her bowl first, and I almost try to time it where I'm like, Scoop, here's her bowl. Yeah. Run over and give it to her, because it's obnoxious how loud she is.
Yeah, she's adorable though. She's very cute.
She can do no wrong.
She's got her little heart on her forehead, her little heart imprint.
Look at you. You're so I love that dog. Smitten.
Yeah. Smitten. But no, that's Rain. And then other updates for you guys. Again, if you're not on Instagram, that's probably the safest bet, just because every day we're trying to be really good with YouTube though. Yeah. But some awesome updates that it probably needs their own video. But Logan, after 588 days, was finally adopted. Yep. Tony, after 3 years, finally adopted. Yeah. Bubbles, just because I think we did the live rescue with Bubbles on YouTube. Bubbles has been adopted and found a home. We'll insert
Reba
clips for all these.
Adopted.
Reba, Reba took way too long.
Yeah, she was such a good dog.
I will say, as long as it took, it's kind of like Lola, where they find like the perfect home, or Nova Gray. Reba's family is literally what I dreamt up in my head the day we got her. Yep. Like it's an older couple that has had German Shepherds and has experience, and Reba gets to be the only dog in the house and lounge around. And they go for walks.
4 different orthopedic beds scattered throughout the house.
It's an older couple, and actually the mom, the wife's mom, lives with them. So like very quiet, mellow home. Mm-hmm. The couple has always rescued shepherds.
Yeah, that was one of their biggest things. Is her mom is in her 80s, I believe, mid 80s, and they wanted another German Shepherd, and they were concerned about hyper, jumping and so when they met Reba, the mom was like, oh my God, she's perfect.
I know. Yeah. Well, and we met the mom, and Reba goes over and like rubs her side on her and sits down and looks up, and I was like, yeah, Reba's not leaving. Did we have any other big adoptions I'm missing? Maribel. I think Maribel was on YouTube a little bit. Yeah. Maribel got adopted.
She was with us for a year.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, she did have a foster, Antonia.
Yeah, no, but I think once she came to us,
man, we suck.
Yeah. Yeah, we do suck.
Because Maribel's another good dog.
Well, it's so difficult to adopt dogs out in Texas.
Yes, there's also that, because everyone's sending dogs out of Texas.
We can jump into that one too. Becca from Yaki Rescue. I mean, you guys hear us talk about her a lot, just because we don't have many friends. Her and Dee are one of our closest friends and rescue friends, if you want to call it colleagues. Jess from Poso Rescue, Tira, Anaya, real good. So we have like our small group of people that we trust and do rescue the right way, and in a way where the dogs come first, right? But we've been having conversations with Becca over at Yaki about, creating some sort of alliance with other rescues where we, have a checklist of, okay, what does your contracts look like? Is there a property home check that we can do to make sure that when dogs are leaving Texas, because a lot of people in Texas in rescue do ship dogs out of state because we have so many dogs here. Yeah. So we're in works of how do we create a program where we know that this rescue in Connecticut is like solid.
Yeah. The issue with that.
Well, and I don't want to stray away from this being Rain's podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I know you. This can be a whole separate episode.
Okay, cool. Yeah, love you.
Yeah, love you too. He goes on rants.
No, but I mean, I think that's.
Here he goes.
No, I think that's most of the big adoptions that we had that you guys probably missed. Chevy's still with us.
Yep.
Tahoe's still with us and doing great. No, they do not like each other.
No.
It's funny actually, because Chevy gets along with other dogs. Tahoe's a little weird. But Chevy and Tahoe hate each other. It's like a scene out of Step Brothers. And I'm pretty confident in my original assumption. I don't know if we covered that on YouTube, but I think Tahoe punked Chevy at their old home.
Yeah.
Especially because Chevy does have puncture wounds. And I think being in a new environment, when Chevy saw him show up like 2 weeks later.
What are you doing?
He's like, bro, get the Get out of here. Like, this is my place. So I think their dynamic's a little funky, but both great dogs individually.
Yeah. I think
so
Tahoe's going to be another one of those dogs that I would love to see in a older kind of adult home.
He's very sweet. He'll sit on the couch with you all day.
Where he's like the only dog. He's with people who've had German Shepherds in the past, and they're a little older. They don't want a German Shepherd that they have to go run or jog for hours on end.
And also because Tahoe is the ultimate fetch player.
Oh, you
and
sit
he'll bring
outside
it and put it on your lap. He'll play for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, those are the big updates. And as far as Rain goes, I'm trying to think of other like big questions I've seen pop up on YouTube or Instagram. But I mean, she's just doing phenomenal. Like for 5 months, I'm shocked at the amount of progress we made.
Yeah.
I was looking at this like it was going to be an 8 to 10 month ordeal. And I mean, she's just surpassed my expectations like crazy. So I'm really proud of her.
Yeah, yesterday we had her out in the front of the house in the field on a 30-foot long lead just to give her the ability to explore and run if she wanted to. And she did a little bit. You know, I kind of enticed her to, come on, let's go. And she would chase me. And then she's like, oh my gosh, this is too much room.
I think she thought she was being thrown back out.
Yeah, she's like, oh, no.
Please no.
And so she kept on running up to dad. So,
yeah, Papa.
But no, she's doing great. I think we're right where we're supposed to be with her.
Yeah, I think
and
we're ahead of
now
schedule
we just
with anything.
need to kind of step it up a notch and take her on little field trips.
Yeah.
Even if it is.
Well, and that's, the other angle of that is we need to get some of these puppies, the peers, some of these dogs adopted. So it frees up time too.
Yeah.
Because we need more time now to devote to her.
Right.
That right now is going to the puppies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'll keep this fairly short, I guess, and show you guys all the clips. But that is the Rain update / Ruth Revenge Tour ongoing update. And,
mind you, I just got a text from Sue Bear, our friend. She's really pissed off that she can hear us. Jess from Poso literally just sent me a text before we started this podcast. And was like, hey, are you guys going down to South Texas anytime soon? Let's go pick up some feral dogs. She's like, let's make a trip of it. You know, Jess.
I'll call Jess. Tell her.
So Colorado coming to South Texas. She's like, how far is it? I was like, I don't know. It's like a 9-hour drive for us. She's like, I'm itching for a feral dog.
She can have the puppies.
They're pretty much feral.
Yeah.
All right,
Jess,
guys.
have your people call my people.
I know. Jess, we'll hop on a call after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But thanks for tuning in. We're going to knock out some podcasts for you guys and see you in a little bit.
No. Wow, it's been so long.
Man.
You forgot how to do this.
I suck. Don't forget.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, and
ring the bell. Dustin gives me the... Yeah. Later,
all
guys.
right.